wasn't even every morning it was the backpack was packed the night before and ready to get on the bus in the morning and head off to school. We would blow kisses every morning to each other, and I remember that morning putting her on the bus. She had a habit of blowing kisses, but then she'd give me a big little liver lip, like, But then I knew she was so happy to go off and get there. So I'd like to say is that she was at a place that she loved, and so we take comfort in that we know she was in a place that she really loved.
And with friends.
And with friends. People that loved her, and that's, I think, the whole community and the school and the teachers, they're all raising your child. And it's a special place.
It is. And I take comfort that she was with all her friends, and I just envision all of them holding hands, and they're all together up there, and they're up there with their wonderful principal.
What did you say to Jeff? I mean, how did you, because there's a lot of parents right now who are trying to figure out what to say to their children all around the world about this.
Telling him was by far the toughest thing to do, and I think what we did was truthful, honest words that he could understand, and hoping that he'll be able to process this, and how we help to guide him to process this over the long journey ahead.
You met with President Obama. What was that like?
We did. We felt the support, and it was really special, and we shared some special things about Grace with him and her art.
You brought him something.
We did. Grace's dream was to live on the beach and be a painter, and so we offered him one of her paintings, which he said he would treasure. So that gave us great comfort too.
Well, I was talking to you before we began, and one of the things you were saying is you don't want to have hate or anger in your heart.
No, I told Jack that he could never live with hate. Grace didn't have an ounce of hate in her, and so we have to live through Grace and realize that hate is not how our family is, and certainly not how Grace is. And I know all those beautiful little children, they didn't have any hate in them either.
It's a hard thing, though, isn't it, to not feel that?
We're going to go on, and we're going to use her positive energy to help guide us forward.
One of Gracie's favorite things to paint or draw was a peace sign. And she just had a birthday in November when she turned 7, and she requested, I said, what would you like your cake to look like, Grace? And she said, I want a purple cake with a turquoise peace sign and polka dots. And sure enough, her cake was purple, turquoise, and polka dots. It was totally Grace. It was so colorful.
It's one of a kind, too.
And she was all about peace. She really was. And I was looking the morning after. I was in the bathroom, and I used to dry her hair next to the window, and the window would fog up, and she would write notes in the window to me. And on Saturday morning, I was standing at that window in the bathroom, and it had fogged up, and I looked, and there was her peace sign in the window, and I was like, that's a sign from my Grace. And the paint above it said, Grace, Mom, and she drew a heart. So she was all about peace and gentleness and kindness.
You went to the funeral home, and you were telling me the story of she has a white casket.
She does. And when we walked in the room, it was the first time we had been able to be with her. And when we walked in the room and we saw that white casket, you felt like the floor was falling out beneath you and your breath was taken away. But earlier in the morning, I decided, because Grace loved art so much, we were packing Sharpies in our pockets. And when we got in, after we did our big family hug with Grace, we sat down and we busted out the Sharpies, and we decided that at first I envisioned maybe a little heart, but by the time we were done, there wasn't an inch of white. It was so covered with all the things that she loved, and her brother, we wrote her notes and her nicknames and all the things that she loved, cupcakes, ice cream cones, lighthouses, seagulls, and we were saying she is laughing at us right now because our artwork was terrible. But when we left the room, it was certainly so hard to leave her, because that would be the last time that we would be able to be with her. We had to take great joy in knowing that when we walked in there, it was so white and our breath was taken away. But when we walked out of there, it was like we had joy again. It had so much color, and it was Grace. It was so Grace.
You were able to give her things as well.
Yes, he brought her favorite pocketbook, and we had seashells and flip-flops and sunglasses, and she loved to cook. We had a frying pan, and she loved music. She has Taylor Swift Christmas song in there. She has her she has her dad's New York Yankee hat. So she had all the things that she loved with her. So we had peace when we left last night.
It's got to be, I mean, hard not to have been able to actually see her.
Well, at first I thought that, and I had questioned maybe wanting to see her, but then I thought she was just so, so beautiful, and she wouldn't want us to remember her looking any different than her perfect hair bow on the side of her beautiful long blonde hair. And so we'll take comfort in looking, we have so many beautiful pictures of her, we'll take comfort in remembering her beautiful smile, and I'll remember her blowing the kisses that day, getting off the bus, going off to school.
And I told Lynn and Chris that every time I hear that song Amazing Grace from now on, I'll think of their Amazing Grace. And she wanted to make sure that